2009, probably the last time I've owned a pair of Converse sneakers. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but as I've gotten older, I realized that the sneakers that I didn't really care about a couple years ago, I'm extremely obsessed about now. And that's probably what happened with these pair of sneakers. For the longest, I kind of just always told myself, I was like, yeah, you know, Converses are cool. I used to wear them a lot when I was younger, but I don't really care for them now. As I've gotten older, I'm just like, you know what? These are really essential and they just kind of go with everything. The past month, I've just been extremely obsessed with wearing these. The CDG Chucks is probably the best way that it could have happened for me to just reintroduce myself back to Converses. If you're on the fence about buying a pair and you're just interested in knowing if these are actually worth it, stay tuned to find out. What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Luigi back at it again with a brand new sneaker review, and we are back to back with the sneaker review. And I know that's good for you guys because you guys love when I do the sneaker reviews. That's the bread and butter of this channel. And this one I've been extremely excited to review for you guys. I purposely bought these for the purpose of doing a sneaker review, but it turned out great because I've just been wearing these a lot. I recently went on vacation for Valentine's Day, a little staycation I guess you can call it, and I was just obsessed with wearing these, and these are just so good. And let me just say this. It's okay to be wrong about certain things. I'm human, everyone makes mistakes. I was extremely wrong about the CDG Chucks. Like, obviously, I've known that these existed for a very long time now, but for some reason, I kind of just always told myself, I was like, those are a little too hype for me. Those are okay, I don't really like them. And I'm just gonna flat out say I was wrong. And it's okay to be wrong. I think these are great. It's a great collaboration if you're someone who loves Converses, but you want something a little bit more elevated, something more premium. I highly recommend you guys check these out. If you guys enjoy this type of content, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. If you guys can help me reach that goal, I'd really much appreciate it. If you guys want, you can also follow me on my Instagram @ Luigi. But enough about that. Let's get right into the sneakers. The first thing that we're gonna get into is the box. Obviously, it is a collaboration, so you're not getting your regular standard Converse box. You have the CDG branding right here. It says Converse Play, Comme, Garçons right here. It has Converse branding all over, and it is very cool. I do like when brands actually care about the packaging of the sneaker. I know that might not be a big deal to others, but in my opinion, if I'm paying premium price for a pair of sneakers, and especially it's a collab, the box better come with something really cool. Now, probably just damaged the box, but that's okay. You guys don't care about the box, you care about the sneakers. So let's get right into it. The sneaker we have to review for you today, we have the Converse collaboration with CDG on the Chuck 70 high top in the milk white colorway. Now this has a crazy colorway name to it. We're just gonna go with beige and black because that's pretty much just what the sneaker is. Now CDG is a very iconic brand. This sneaker brand and this collaboration have been around for a very long time. CDG and Converse first collaborated back in 2009, and it's been an ongoing collaboration since then. And over the years, they've just come out with so many variations, so many cool colorways. And in my opinion, probably, I know a lot of people will probably say the black and the red one is probably the most iconic, but I think this one is probably the best one that I've seen because it's neutral tone colors. It goes with every single outfit, and it's just a really cool, clean sneaker that you can kind of just throw on, and it pretty much just matches anything. Now, there are two differences between CDG Play and the regular CDG. CDG Play is more of the friendly, like cheaper version, kind of like how Fear of God has the essentials and Fear of God. That's pretty much just the same concept. Now, just because it is the more friendly budget version, is it any less premium? No, it's definitely more of an elevated version than you're gonna get on your standard Converses. Going with the upper of the sneaker, now this specific version has a higher quality off-white canvas material that is more durable than your standard regular Chuck 70 sneakers. Pretty much just any GR you can think of. This version right here obviously is more premium. They are using better material because it is a collaboration between a brand and Converse. It's not like Converse just released these. These are definitely more premium and definitely way better material that you can get if you were to just walk into just any Converse store and pretty much just pick up like an all-white Converses. As far as the ladder on the medial side goes right here, one thing I do like about the sneaker, and the main reason kind of why I bought it, was these little hearts right here for the CDG Play done in like these black hits right here. It is very nice. It goes all across the sneaker right here, and it is still very nice. And it's one of those things that even if you don't really like Converse, if you see these from far away and you see the iconic heart right here, you're like, okay, that's a CDG Chuck, and it's very iconic. It's like if you're staring at like a pair of New Balances or like a pair of Jordans, you see that Wings logo, you're like, okay, that's a pair of Jordans. Going into the toe cap of the sneaker, you have that cream color rubber, which is very nice. It does feel very premium, and something that I'm really not used to. I've never really had a sneaker that has kind of had like this like rubberized toe cap material right here, but it still looks very nice. I will say it definitely took a a little getting used to when I first took these out. I'm like, okay, this is very interesting, because when you first take these out the box, this whole entire midsole is very shiny. It does look very shiny, and that rubber toe cap definitely does give it more of like a premium look. And I was really not used to that, because this is probably the only sneaker in my collection that really just has this kind of material and kind of like this aesthetic on the sneaker. So definitely took me a little while getting used to. Does it add any difference to the wear, or how you wear the sneaker? Not really. You don't even really feel this. As far as the laces go, you have your standard white flat laces going all across the sneaker. The sneaker does not come with any extra set of laces. It would have been cool if they would have thrown in some black ones, or maybe some some crazy collaborations. One thing I would like to see, if I know on some sneaker brands or some sneaker collaborations, usually they put like some crazy like lettering, or they put like some branding on the laces right here. It would have been cool if they would have added like CDG on the lace tips or something like that, but they kept it standard. It's not a bad look. I still think it's great. I still think it adds to the whole look of the sneaker. The all white laces are still a great touch. So if you're wondering if these came with an extra set of laces, they don't. Unfortunately, they only came with one, but I have seen on the internet some people have lace swapped these and put in different color ones, and those look absolutely great. To the back tab of the sneaker, you do have this black tab going all the way down, and it is also done in that nice like canvas material. It definitely does add to the aesthetic. I love how the black, even though it is subtle, it does match with the branding that's all across the sneaker. And right under that, you do have your iconic Converse All-Star, mixing in with that off-white color right here, and it does say Chuck Taylor. Still very iconic, just like how other sneaker models have that iconic branding on it. Like the Air Force One has the Nike check, the Jordan 1 has the Nike check with the Wings logo. Converse has the stamp right here, and just like the Vans, obviously if you look on the back of a Vans sneaker and you see that stamping right there that does say Vans, Converse is just as iconic. And when you talk about sneakers that have made such an impact on sneaker culture history, and sneakers that have tested the test of time, you definitely have to talk about Converse. It's one of those iconic sneakers, and for a lot of people who don't know, especially the younger generation, first basketball sneaker was actually a pair of Converses. And crazy to think that back in the day, people actually used to hoop in Converse sneakers. I feel like if I were to do that today, my ankle would break in like 6 different places, and I would probably be in the ICU for probably like a month. But that was back then, different time, maybe there was different cushioning, but I've tried to hoop in Converses. Not a great idea. Kind of impossible to just not like Converses. I feel like it's very hard for you to kind of look at a certain Converse model, or just any in general, and be like, I don't really like those. At one point, I probably believe all of us probably owned at least one pair of Converse sneakers. Another thing that is iconic about the Converse sneaker, you have that iconic Converse branding right here. It does say the Converse All-Star Chuck Taylor 70. That branding right there, that stamp, that lets you know that it is a Converse sneaker, and it's still very iconic. It's one of those things that if you see it from afar, even if this thing didn't have the CDG like branding on it, if it was just a regular pair of Chuck Taylors, you see that Converse right there and you're like, okay, that's Converse. Like, very iconic, timeless. Going into the midsole of the sneaker, you do have that cream off-white midsole going all the way across. I think it's a very nice look. I think it just adds to the sleekness of the sneaker. I love how it's a neutral tone color, and for someone like myself who wears like a lot of like neutral tone colors, who wears a lot of beige, gray, black, white, you name it, all the neutral tone colors, I pretty much just own it, and this sneaker was just a perfect fit for my rotation. All right, and last but not least, we have to talk about the outsole of the sneaker. Now when it comes to the outsole, just like your Vans, you have that standard iconic gum bottom right here. Very iconic. I feel like it's impossible as a sneakerhead or someone who's into sneakers to not like gum outsoles. It's so iconic. It just adds to the sneaker. It really just gives it a different feel, at least in my opinion. I feel like if you're into sneakers, there's no way that you can't like gum bottom outsole. I would have maybe liked to see like a CDG logo on the bottom or anything like that, but just having it, the heart logos all across the sneaker was just enough for me. But still, I would have liked to see this maybe in the future. Maybe Converse, if you're watching this, maybe you can add like a little heart. One thing we do have to talk about is how comfortable are the CDG Converses. Now typically for the Chuck 70s, they do have extra cushioning in them, which makes it a lot more comfortable than your standard regular Converses. Now one thing I will say, and one thing that I've just always thought, back in the day when I used to own a lot of Converses, like back in 2009, 2010, like when I was like in high school, they were just extremely not comfortable. Like I probably couldn't go a whole day in them. If you wore Converses all day, your feet would probably just hurt really bad. I still wouldn't recommend wearing these all day because I feel like it just doesn't really have that much support, even though they do have more cushioning. You know, Nike bought Converse and made it more comfortable. I still probably wouldn't recommend wearing these all day. I could probably be in these for maybe 3 to 5 hours max, but the whole entire day I would probably rather wear a pair of New Balances because I know those will get me through the day. Last but not least, we have to talk about the sizing of the sneaker. Now when it comes to the CDG Chuck 70. Before I purchased these, I did a little bit of research and everyone told me different things like, oh, these run super small, like go down a full size, go down half a size. Now typically I am a size 7.5 and I went with a size 7 and these fit me perfectly fine. Do I feel like I could have got away with wearing maybe a full size down, 6.5, which is crazy by the way. I think if you go down half a size, you should be okay. Converse's return policy is pretty good, so you could buy these, and if these don't fit, you could easily just exchange them or return them. I would definitely say just go down at least half a size, you should be okay. If you go down a full size, it would probably be just too tight because the sneaker itself is very narrow, and if you go down a full size, it probably will be a little too tight for you. Just to give my final thoughts on the Converse Chuck 70 collaboration with CDG on the high tops. Now, this is a very iconic sneaker. You know, put aside the collaboration and just talking about the Converse in general, it's an iconic sneaker, it's timeless. It's one of those sneakers that even though you don't wear them anymore, you still appreciate it, and that's kind of how I felt about these. I am just extremely glad that I picked these up because these have just become a staple just in my wardrobe. Like, I feel like every day I kind of just push myself to kind of wear these because these look so good. And it's definitely one of those sneakers too that I know a lot of people don't really care about this, but it's one of those sneakers that you put on your feet, you look down, and they look great. There have been plenty of times where I buy a sneaker and I'm like, man, these look so great, and then I put them on my feet and I look down and I'm like, damn, these look ugly. Definitely not the case with these. These look so good. They look good with pants, with jeans. You know, typically the way that I would kind of style these is I would kind of give these more of like a formal wear, but if you also want to wear these with streetwear, that's perfectly fine too. My definition of streetwear would probably be to throw on like a nice beige jacket with some nice black jeans, and you know, these look really good too. Or if you want to throw these on with like some chino pants, you know, a nice button up, whatever you want to wear. Even if I were to wear these right now with this corduroy button up that I got on with this polo hat, these would look perfectly great too. I was very excited to pick these up to show you guys, and it's just one of those pairs that I know I'm gonna wear for a very long time, and who knows, I'll probably pick up another pair because I'm just extremely in love with this pair. I think it's great, and it's definitely one of those sneakers that I definitely do not regret buying. That's pretty much it for my quick little review on the Converse Chuck 70 CDG. Now I know it's a quick little review because there's not really too much going on with the sneaker besides just the canvas material and the heart logos going all the way across. It's a simple sneaker and it says a lot by not saying too much. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys hit that like button, share this video with your friends, hit that subscribe button. Hope you guys really did enjoy this video. And catch you guys next time. Peace.
Run it, I run the game, yeah, you heard capiche. Took the roof off, now it's just seats. Yeah, I keep a watch on my enemies. Look me in my eyes, we are not the same, you heard capiche. Yeah, I run the game, yeah, you heard capiche. Took the roof off, now it's just seats. Yeah, I keep a watch on my enemies.